São Luís, in the Bay of the São Marcos. The metropolitan area totals 1,605,305. Ranked as the 15th largest in Brazil, São Luís, created originally as Saint Lus Maranho, is the only Brazilian state capital founded by France, has its original street plan preserved and was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1997. The city has two major seaports, Madeira Port and Itaqui Port, through which a substantial part of Brazil's iron ore, originating from the Amazon region, is exported. The city's main industries are metallurgical with alumina and whale. São Luís is home of the Federal University of Maranhão. São Luís was the hometown of famous Brazilian samba singer Alcione. Brazilian writers Aloísio Azevedo, Ferreira Guller and Josué Montello, Belgian naturalized soccer player Luís Oliveira, and the musician João do Whale, a música popular brasileira singer. Originally, the town was a large village of the Tupinambá tribe. The first Europeans to settle it were the French, in 1612, who intended to make it the center of a colony named Equinoctial France. Under the command of Daniel de la Touche, Seigneur de la Ravadière, and Admiral François de Razilly. They built a fort named Saint Louis de Maranhão after King Louis XIII and his saintly ancestor, Louis IX, the construction of which marked the date of foundation of the city. September 8, Portugal conquered the settlement in 1615 in the Battle of Guazinduba and renamed the city São Luís, because there had been little time for the French to build a city. There is some controversy as to the actual date of the founding of the city, whether by the French or the Portuguese. In November 1641, the city was invaded by the Dutch. However, they abandoned Maranhão in 1644. In 1677, the city was made the seat of the new Roman Catholic Diocese of São Luís do Maranhão. Only when those invasions ceased permanently did the colonial government decide to create the state of Grão-Pará e Maranhão, independent from the rest of the country. By that time, the economy was based on agriculture, particularly the exportation of sugarcane, cacao and tobacco. Conflicts amongst the local elites would lead to the Beckmen's revolt. This started due to the struggle between Jesuits and landowners, the first against the Indian slavery and the others against the unfair treatment given by the Portuguese authorities. The situation led to an uprising against the Portuguese, led by the brothers Manuel and Thomas Beckman, and lasted till the intervention of Portuguese troops, under the command of the General Gomes Freire de Andrade. After few skirmishes, the rebels were defeated and the Beckman brothers arrested and, after a brief trial, were hanged, drawn and quartered. The last words of Manuel Beckman at the gallows were, "Pelo povo do Maranhão moro contente." The phrase decorates the main hall of State Council building. Soon after the outbreak of the American Civil War, the region started to provide cotton to Great Britain. The wealth generated by this activity was used to modernize the city, to bring religious men to come and teach in its schools, and supplement the water supply. The city came to be the third most populous city in the country. By the end of the 19th century, agriculture was in decay, and since then the city's population has been searching for other ways to make a living. Nowadays, São Luís has the largest and best preserved heritage of colonial Portuguese architecture of all Latin America. The island is known as the Island of Love and as the Brazilian Athens, due to its many poets and writers, such as Sotero dos Reis, Aloísio Azevedo, Graça Aranha, Goncalves Dias, Josué Montello, Ferreira Guller, among others. The city is also known as the Brazilian Jamaica because of the popularity of reggae music. The ancestral composition of São Luís, according to an autosomal DNA study, is 42% European, 39% Native American and 19% African. Until the mid-19th century, Maranhão's economy was one of the most prosperous in the country. However, after the Civil War in the United States of America, when it lost space in the export of cotton, the state went into decline. Only after the end of the 1960s did the state begin to receive incentives and emerge from seclusion. by way of road and rail connections with other regions. In the late 18th century, increased international demand for cotton to meet the English textile industry coupled with reduced production because of the Revolutionary War in the United States provided the perfect setting to stimulate cotton production in Maranhão. Shipping companies in Southampton and Company Mariner Shipping Company, shipping steam, which performed the transportation of cotton from the states of Georgia and Alabama, began operating in St. Louis Shaft, London, leading to production of Caxias and Baixada Maranhão. By the early 20th century, St. Louis still exporting cotton to England by sea, through the lines and Booth's Red Cross Line Linn.